Number 35. This is a level under the psychomotor domain by Simpson, which shows ability of the learner to use sensory cues to guide motor or physical activity. A. Adaptation. B. Complex overt response. C. Guided response. D. Perception. The answer is letter D, which is perception. The levels of psychomotor domain according to Simpson are the following: perception, set, guided response, mechanism, complex overt response, adaptation, origination. The first level focuses on how a learner is aware of the motor or physical skill by activating his or her senses. Sensory stimulation through cue selection or translation to physical activity is expected in this level. So, why the answer is letter D, which is perception? Because the question describes the initial level of the psychomotor domain according to Simpson, where a learner uses sensory cues to guide motor or physical activity, which this is aligns with perception, which is the first level and involves awareness of motor or physical skills through sensory stimulation. So the other options, which are adaptation, complex overt response, and guided response, are higher levels in Simpson's psychomotor domain. Number 36. The following are overt or explicit types of curriculum, except A. Hidden curriculum, B. Recommended curriculum, C. Supported curriculum, and letter D. Written curriculum. The answer is letter A, which is hidden curriculum. So, when we say overt or explicit types of curriculum, are those intentionally planned and implemented by educators and institutions. The recommended curriculum, supported curriculum, and written curriculum are fall into this category, which is overt or explicit types of curriculum, as they are planned and enacted. So, ang nalahi ra dire is the hidden curriculum because it is also known as covert curriculum. When we say covert curriculum, it refers to unintended lessons, values, and perspectives learned in school that are not part of the official curriculum and arise from other influences. Number 37. Which curriculum type appears as available resources such as textbooks, software, and learning materials? A. Assessed curriculum, B. Ideal curriculum, C. Learned curriculum, D. Taught curriculum. The answer is letter C, learned curriculum, because in the question asks about the curriculum type that appears as available resources like textbooks, software, and learning materials. It refers to what students actually learn and acquire from the educational experiences. So why not the answer is assessed curriculum? Because in assessed curriculum refers to what is evaluated through tests and assessments. Also in ideal curriculum represents the theoretical or desired curriculum. And also taught curriculum, it is what teachers actually deliver in the classroom. So the answer here in the question is learned curriculum. Number 38. The curriculum reviewers of the elementary Araling Panlipunan subject in school A believes in all elementary grade levels. The dimension of curriculum design that is highlighted is on an effort to it. Therefore, they assure that some competences in AP are vertically repeated in the concept that the learners can be masters of something if they devote sufficient time. Letter A. Continuity, B. Relevance, C. Scope, and D. Sequence. The answer is letter A. Continuity. Why continuity is the answer? Because the problem describes the belief that learners can be masters of something if they devote sufficient time and effort to it, and that some competencies in AP are vertically repeated in all elementary grade levels. This directly aligns with the definition of continuity in curriculum design, which involves the vertical repetition. So why not the other options are the answers, or is the answer? The relevance, because it primarily about connecting to real life concerns, which is not connected to continuity, and the scope refers to breadth and depth of content covered, and letter and sequence, it refers to the order in which content is presented. So that is why the other options are not the answers, or is the answer, because it is not related to the problem, which is connected to continuity. Number 39. The English teacher taught the literary competencies in an interconnected way. She chose related to real-life concerns. This dimension of curriculum design being focused here is on a text in relation to the theme of the month and discussed values and skills, which are letter A, continuity, B, integration, C, relevance, and letter D, sequence. The answer is letter B, integration. Why the answer is integration? Because the problem states that the English teacher taught literary competencies in an interconnected way. Choose a text related to the theme of the month and discussed values and skills which are related to real life concerns. So this emphasizes connecting different elements, themes, and real life experiences, which is the essence of integration in curriculum design. Integration aims to eliminate isolation between subjects and organize elements in an interconnected manner. So that is why the answer is integration, because wala nilagi isolate lang ang usa ka subjects, gamit ang usa ka subject into another subject para ma-connect, and then naay value para dili siya ma-isolate, so mag-connect-connect lang siya. And then why not the other options are the answers? It is because continuity, it is not related to the problem, also relevance and sequence. Number 40. According to PRC, Revised Guidelines for Continuing Professional Development, Resolution number 2013 to 774, every professional teacher is required proof of blank continuing professional development units for renewal of professional identification card every 3 years. How many CPD units is required according to the 2013 resolution? A. 30, B. 35, C. 40, and D. 45. The answer is letter D, 45. The problem explicitly asks for the number of CPD units required according to the 2013 resolution. The provided text states RA 10912, or the Continuing Professional Development Act of 2016, all professions, including professional teachers, must renew every 3 years, while carrying 45 units of professional development. So this sentence directly refers to the requirement before the subsequent change mentioned in the resolution. So why not the answers A, B, C, which are 30, 35, and 40 units? Because these numbers do not correspond to the 45 units required under the 2013 resolution as detailed in the text. So the text later mentions a reductions to 15 units by a recent PRC resolution, resolution number 2019 to 1146. Number 41. Which criterion for the selection of subject matter and content refers to the learner's schema and experiences as important factors to curriculum? This further means that the content, which criterion for the selection of subject matter or content refers to the learner's schema, should be identified within the capacity of students to observe the subject matter. A. Feasibility. B. Interest. C. Learnability. And letter D. Validity. The answer is letter C. Learnability. Why learnability? Because learnability refers to the capacity of students to absorb the subject matter. So it emphasizes applying theories of learning to present the subject matter effectively to maximize student learning capacity. So why not? The answer is feasibility. Because feasibility, it relates to the availability of materials and resources to teach the content. And why not interest? Because it focuses on selecting content that engages and motivates students. And why not validity? Because it concerns the authenticity and currency of the subject matter. So that is why the correct answer of number 41 is letter C, which is learnability. Number 42. The following are suggested criteria by Palma in the organizing and putting together of different learning contents, except A. Articulation, B. Criterion-based, C. Integration, and letter D. Scope and sequence. The answer is letter B. Criterion-based. Why criterion-based is the answer? It is because, according to Palma, the suggested criteria for organizing and putting together different learning contents are basic. Capital letter B, A, S, I, C, and stands for B is for balance, A is for articulation, S is for scope and sequence, I is for integration, and letter C is continuity. So these the other options, which are articulation, integration, and scope and sequence, are all parts of the suggested criteria for organizing learning contents, while criterion based are not part of basic of the suggested criteria by Palma. Number 43. The following are progressive points of view of the curriculum, except letter A. Total learning experiences of the individual. Letter B. All experiences children have under the guidance of the teacher. Letter C. Written documents or plan of action of the curricular experiences by the teacher for the learners. Letter D. Experiences in the classroom which are planned and enacted by teacher and learned by students. The answer is letter C. Written documents or plan of action of the curricular experiences by the teacher of the learners. So, why is that? The answer is letter C. Because we know when we say progressive points of view of curriculum, it is the total learning experiences. All experiences of the children have under teachers' guidance and experiences in the classroom planned and actualized by the students. So the options A, B, and D align with the progressive points of view of the curriculum, which is focusing the holistic experiences of the individual. Meanwhile, the letter C, which is under the traditional point of view of curriculum, where it is primarily seen as a pre-prepared plan or document. So, maoray nalahi sa apat ka choices, which is the letter C, which is the under siya sa traditional point of view, and the A, B, and D are under the progressive point of view. Number 44. Tyler's rationale lists down 4 fundamental questions or principles in examining and developing a curriculum. Which of the 4 questions focuses on how we can identify if the purposes or aims were attained by the set experiences? A. First, B. Second, C. Third, and letter D. Fourth. So the answer is letter D, because in Tyler's rationale is composed of 4 questions. First, what educational purposes should the school seek to attain? In second question, what educational experiences can be provided that are likely to attain these purposes? Third, how can these educational purposes be effectively organized? And fourth question, how can we determine whether these purposes being attained or not? So the question in the item focused on the attainment of aims through the experiences. So it is the fourth step in Tyler's model. So the question in the problem is under in the fourth question. Number 45. Which component in the UBD lesson plan or understanding by design lesson plan procedure answers this question? How students activate their prior knowledge and be engaged in the learning process? A. Deepen. B. Explore. C. Firm up. And letter D. Transfer. So the answer is letter B. Explore. Why explore? Because the explore component in the understanding by design lesson plan procedure focuses on diagnosing students' needs and activating their prior knowledge to prepare them for new learning experiences. So, why not the answer letter A, deepen? Because deepen moves students and teachers to extend to higher order thinking activating their prior knowledge. And firm up allows students to give more examples and skills and activities for deeper understanding of the new knowledge gained. So that also transfer encourages students to demonstrate knowledge, skills, and understanding, transferring what they learned in real life context. So that is why the answer is explore. Number 46. The UBD or Understanding by Design Lesson Procedure format has the following components. Which comparisons are correct? Roman numeral 1, explore introduction. 2, firm up analysis. 3, deepen abstraction. 4, transfer interaction. So letter A, 1 and 2, B, 2 and 4, C, 1, 2 and 3, and D, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the answer is letter C. Why? Because understanding by design lesson plan procedure adopted by DepEd follows the arrangement explore, firm up, deepen, and transfer. And explore matches with the introduction or activity part of the lesson. And firm up is congruent with the interaction or in analysis parts of firm up. In deepen can be compared with abstraction section of a lesson procedure. And transfer, on the other hand, is the integration or application part, which allows students to transfer what they learn. Therefore, interaction is already done before the transfer stage. So that is why transfer to interaction is not included in the UBD lesson procedure because it is stated here or shown here that transfer to interaction is after the transfer. So instead, ang interaction, it is before on the transfer stage. So that is why they exclude. The answer is 1, 2, and 3. Number 47. A school administrator emphasized that students have to be engaged in academic and extracurricular activities as both types of events help in the achievement of holistic development intended for the secondary students. According to Peter Oliva, what definition of curriculum is implied? A. Content. B. Sequence of courses. C. Series of experiences. And letter D, set of performance objectives. So the answer is letter C, series of experiences. Why? Because according to Peter Oliva, when a school administrator emphasizes student engagement in both academic and extracurricular activities for holistic development, the implied definition of curriculum is a series of experiences. In Oliva's perspective, especially concerning holistic development through diverse activities, aligns with the idea that curriculum encompasses all planned and unplanned learning experiences students encounter within and outside the classroom. Number 48. Mr. Peralta, as the assistant principal, reminded the teachers in the beginning of the year that they have to look at their syllabus and compare it with how they implemented the recent year. Then, they have to improve the existing curriculum for the upcoming school year based on the insights they gained. So please remember that teaching and learning is a continuous process. He added. He believes in the principle that curriculum development is A. A cooperative endeavor, B. A decision-making process, C. Never-ending, and letter D. Systematic. The answer is letter C. Never-ending. Because in Peter Oliva's 10 actions list down principles to curriculum development. Teachers do necessary improvements every year. So curriculum development and change are in this situation. The change in curriculum is considered as a never-ending process as the reckon as necessary and inevitable too. So that is why curriculum is continuous process yun na siya because if ang katong curriculum plus wala siya ni effect sa mga students or your teacher methods, the strategies, wala ni effect. So, kung karon nga year, dili na sa siya balikon og gamit. Himo na pod mo or inyo ba siyang i-revise para siya mo effect siya for students and for the teachers. And why not the answer is letter A, a cooperative endeavor? Because it involves cooperation, so dili siya related sa problem. And letter B, a decision-making process, it involves decision-making, so dili gyapon siya related because ang state dito is a continuous process. And letter D, systematic. Yes, curriculum development should ideally be systematic. So, dili gyapon siya related sa problem no, which is atong gipanghita is a continuous process. So, the correct answer is never ending, walay kahumanan. Number 49. In the curriculum you are designing, you have selected subject matter which are relevant, valid, balanced, and integrated with the subjects in the same year level. In which curriculum component will this decision to be more observed? A. Objectives, B. Content, C. TL activities or teacher-learner activities, and letter D. Assessment. So the answer is letter B. Content. In content, the teacher designer selects content or subject matter based on elements such as balance, articulation, scope, integration, and continuity, or in characteristics such as being valid, interesting, or feasible. So why not the answer is objectives? Because in objectives, we already know that the objectives define what students should learn or able to do, and on why it is not the answer TL activities, because these are the methods and strategies used to deliver the content and achieve the objectives. And why not the answer is assessment, because we already know that assessment is the process of evaluating learning outcomes. So that is why ang atong gipangitang answer is content. Number 50. According to Cunningham, curriculum is a tool in the hands of an artist to mold his or her material in a studio, according to ideals of art. The following metaphors match Cunningham's definition of curriculum except A. Artists, the teacher and or curriculum designers. Letter B. Material, the textbooks, curriculum materials, and resources. C. Study, the institution, school, or university. D. Ideals, objectives, aims, standards, and competences. The answer is letter B. Material, textbooks, curriculum materials, and resources. Why? Because in Cunningham's definition describes a curriculum as a tool in the hands of an artist, which is the artist is the teacher, to mold material according to ideals. So the key is understanding what the material represents. So, the provided answer clarifies that in Cunningham's metaphor, the material being molded by the artist or the teacher is the students. So, not inanimate objects like textbooks or other learning resources. So, these resources are tools to aid in shaping the students, not the material itself. So, except siya sa Cunningham's definition of curriculum in metaphors. So, artist, letter A, the teacher and our curriculum designers matches where the teacher is indeed the artist who uses the curriculum tool. And letter C, the studio, which is mo siya ang institution, school, or university. And then, letter D, ideals, which the objectives, aims, standards that matches the ideals of art correspond to the educational objectives and desired outcomes for the students. So, mauna, ang the answer is letter B, material, because give specific man siya nga material is the textbooks, curriculum materials, and resources.